Hey guys, can you see my cat right there, sitting in the windowsill? He was jealous that his sister got a cameo last time and he didn't. Okay, not to be cat crazy. Sorry. Okay, so this is my week 26 post-op gastric bypass update. It is coming to you 2 days late, which I'm really sorry about. I made the video 6 things I can do now that I couldn't do 6 months ago. And editing a real video, as opposed to just talking at the camera for 10 minutes and hitting upload, was so much more work than I realized, so I was just wiped out. But then yesterday I also had my 6-month appointment with my nutritionist, my 6-month appointment with my surgeon, so I figured I would just wait and include all that info. That said, I know the video will probably be really long. So I'll get this week out of the way, and then people can click off if they're not interested in, the surgeon stuff. So 26 weeks ago, I was 290 pounds. I feel like you guys are really close. Okay. Sorry, I'm a little carried today. Okay, 26 weeks ago, 290 pounds. Last week, I was 191.4, and on Tuesday morning, which is my 26 weeks, I was 189.2. Hit the 100-pound barrier. And I lost 2.2 pounds this week, which is really exciting. My calories were, 1,178 was the average. I went running twice, and I did yoga once, which is really funny because during the week I was thinking about how lazy I felt, like, oh, I'm having such a lazy week, da-da-da. And then I realized working out 3 times would have seemed like insanely huge to me 6 months ago, and now it feels like I was taking it easy, sort of. So that's a really nice change. I am back on track with Couch to 5K, and I'm really, really excited that some other people are also starting to do it. And I know, Tom signed up for his marathon, which is insane and inspiring. So I was just like, let's get back on track. So I did my one final day of the week 2, which is walking, I think, for 60 seconds or 90 seconds, and then running for 90 seconds. And then every week, going into every single week, I get really nervous that I'm not going to be able to do it. But on Monday, I did the first day of week 3, which is running for 3 minutes straight, twice. And I was like, 90 seconds to 3 minutes is double. That's a huge jump. But I did it, and it was fine. It was, totally fine. So on the last interval, when I had to go for 3 minutes and I knew that was it, I was like, just go for it. And I did 4 minutes. And I was like, yes. So I ran 10 minutes total out of the half hour, which just felt so good. And Becky found us a 4-mile. So a 5K is 3.1 miles. This is a 4 miles, so it's a little bit longer, race on my birthday, July 18th. I think I told you guys this. And I'm like, okay, I think we're really going to do it. I think we're in it to win it. So hopefully the running will keep up. I'm going to go tonight after work. It's already been 2 days, and do another day of the week 3. So that's kind of it for this week. Eating was fine, exercise was fine, a little light but fine. Nothing super major happened. And then Wednesday, yesterday, I went to see my nutritionist and my surgeon. So here's what happened. And you can totally click off if you're not interested and you already know everything. But so I went in and I sat down and I was waiting, and it was taking a little bit of time to see my nutritionist. And finally she came up to me and she was like, Kate, I didn't even recognize you. So I stood up, and she, is obviously assessing me, and not like she's giving me the once over, but kind of she is. I mean, it's her job. And this also happened when I went in to see the surgeon. I was sitting in his office after seeing the nutritionist, and he came in and he was like, well, stand up, let me see. And it's weird because I realized I hate this part of it. And I know Nikki's talked about, hating catcalls or people paying more attention to her, and I'm not getting that. Obviously, my nutritionist isn't catcalling me, but I really don't like the moment of seeing people, again, for the first time now, and them super reacting to it. And I mean, I can't have it both ways, right? I get upset when people I see all the time don't react to me or don't comment on it, and then I get uncomfortable when people are like, oh my God, it's so dramatic, you look so different, I didn't recognize you. And I feel like obviously a huge part of it is that in that moment, what's not being said is like, you were huge, and now you're not. Do you know what I mean? The only way that it can be super dramatic, the only way that someone cannot recognize you now is if you started off huge. Like, you know, people don't go from 150 to 140 and not get recognized. They lose 100 pounds and not get recognized. But that was fine. You know, we went into her office, and I really, really like my nutritionist. Like, I feel like she's totally grown on me. She's pretty no-nonsense. She's not super crazy. I had made an Excel chart with all of my, you know, my calorie averages for the week, how many times I'm exercising for the week, and then my pounds lost. So she took a look at that, and, you know, the last month, that was also sort of the first time I'd really looked at it. The last month, I've been averaging about 1,100 calories. But I've also been getting at least half an hour of exercise 5 times a week. And my weight loss has slowed. I think for the 26 weeks, the average is something like 3.8 pounds or something, which is crazy. But, you know, the last month it's been like 2.something, 2.2 or something like that. And so she took a look at that, and she was like, this is great. You know, she's like, I wouldn't be worried about the calories at all, which is really, really good to hear. She's like, you're obviously working out a ton. And I told her about running, and I told her about yoga. Interesting, we were just chatting about it, and she was like, you know, you might need more food on the days that you're running, but you might need more food the day after you're running. It's kind of unclear when your body is demanding that extra fuel. So that they have done studies with yoga that it's a natural appetite suppressant, which I thought was, you know, just interesting to hear. Not that that means I'm going to be doing yoga every day, but I had done yoga, a class on Tuesday night, came home, and really just did not feel like eating dinner. And so I wound up having a protein shake and was like, whatever. So it's interesting to hear that there's some science behind that. And I walked her through, I'm trying to see, I walked her through a day. So I'm going to just tell you the day really quick. And this is really, for me, as much as anything, just so that I can have a record sort of what I'm eating and what she thinks is ideal. Let me get there. Okay, so I walked her through my Tuesday. Let me see if that's true. No, I walked her through my Monday. So in the morning I had a protein shake with 10 ounces of almond milk, because almond milk, as MJ pointed out, is insanely low calories. It's like 40 calories for a cup. Half a scoop of protein, because I'm getting enough. A little bit of sugar-free hazelnut coffee mate. Had that. A few hours later, had some Greek yogurt, some high-fiber cereal, like a third of a cup, and a little packet, 45 calories of raisins, like a mini packet. For lunch, I had a Smart Ones quesadilla, 220 calories. For dinner, I had French onion soup, and I had 2 different snacks. I had a GNU, new banana fiber bar, and a little bit, a third of a cup of fruit salad in the afternoon. And then after I went to the gym, because that was on my running days, I had an iced coffee with a cup of milk, you know, skim milk from Starbucks. So, you know, I walked her through that day, let's see if I can do it, which was 1,100 calories, 68 grams of protein, 29 grams of fiber, which is really, really crazy for me. Like, usually I'm at like 15 or something, and 35 grams of fat. And she was like, perfect, which honestly, who thought I would ever have a nutritionist use the word perfect to describe anything I was doing with my life? So she was like, I do not care how many grams of carbs you're getting. I was like, oh, but it's a little high. It was like 130. And she's like, I don't care. She's like, the biggest things are that you are getting in enough protein, that you're getting in some fruits and vegetables, that you are eating intuitively, so you're eating only when you're hungry and you're stopping when you feel satisfied, full. You know, she's like, in the big picture, if I were to do linear, it would be vegetables, you know, complex carbohydrates with fiber. Fruits, she says, are a little less important than vegetables. And then she said far down on the list would be like simple white carbs, like bread and pasta. But basically, if I'm eating, you know, fiber to get it in because I need to, and vegetables and a little bit of fruit, she does not care. And when I try to tell her how many carbs I'm having, she's like, I don't care. I don't care. Don't count that. It's not important. So I don't know. I feel like for a lot of us, carbs are trigger foods. So obviously when I am gravitating towards, you know, pita chips, she wants me to be swapping in some carrot sticks so that I'm moving up the food chain, if you will, in terms of the carbs that I'm eating. but I thought it was interesting. Okay, second video. Sorry, guys.